Okay, I'm going to go through the contents of the sky winch. So this is the plate to put on the ground. It's got holes to put 4 anchors into the ground, so you don't have to just stand on it. Here's the hand crank for the sky winch if you want to do it by hand. There are a total of 3 pins. These are the 2 pins that anchor the sky winch into the extension over here. And this is the pin to anchor the extension into the receiver hitch. Thank you. And this is the sky winch here. This is the cover. And here's the drill. The trigger's here. This is the trigger lock, so you don't have to hold it down. This is the speed. You've got 2 speeds, but we've decided that the lower speed 1 would be the best way to go. And as is usual with most drills, you've got forward and reverse, but you have to keep in mind whether the drill's going forward or in reverse, it's still cranking the rope in.
Okay, so the first step is going to be to attach the extension arm to the receiver hitch, which we have the larger pin here, and that's locked in. So the next step, we're going to be attaching the sky hook to the receiver, to the extension arm, with these 2 smaller pins right here. Now we're going to take the haul line and we're going to put it into the mechanism here by detaching this. There we go. That's locked in. We're going to wrap it around the winch 3 or 4 times. And then into this little metal groove, over this groove right here, and then into the slots on the top. So the next thing we would like, when you put the rope into this mechanism here, you've got to follow these arrows that are right here. It's important that it goes this direction and not the other direction. So the next thing we do is we're going to loosen up this and put it in line with what we're hauling, which is a litter. This is a tire in this example. So we're going to line it up with that. So it's in line, and we're going to tighten, crank this down. So it doesn't, it stays nice and taut right there. Now there's 2 options to haul. We have the traditional hand crank here. Frank's going to insert this. You have to turn this little switch right there, and it'll lock it in. And depending on which way you go, it gives you 2 different mechanical advantages. So cranking it this way, it's more of a mechanical advantage. It does move slower, but it requires less effort. And then the other direction, it does go faster. With a lighter load, that can be ideal. Less mechanical advantage. So that's one option. The other option, which is unique with this piece of equipment, is we have the Makita angle drill here. And the way this goes in, there's a little square there on the end that actually locks in this little star pattern here. And so you're going to need power for this. For this exercise, we're going to plug into the station's power here, but if you're on scene and you don't have a power source, we have the inverter here in R72. And it's got an on-off switch there. It's a little yellow light that comes on that'll tell you it's on. And then we have the power pack right here. Yeah. And that goes into the top middle driver's side compartment so it stays. here. And if you're going to be using this system here, it's best to keep the engine running because the juice will run down pretty quickly. And even if the keys are not in it and you leave this inverter on by mistake, if the keys are in it, engine's off, it'll still run down the power on this. So it's important to make sure you turn that off afterwards. It's a little hard to see the little yellow light with all the lights inside the cab here, but it is there, and just turning that off is important. So for this exercise, we're going to just plug into the station's power. There you go. So it's very important also to have a rope attendant on this particular thing because this thing moves pretty fast. So Frank's got the rope over there, and it also makes a lot of noise. So it's a little harder to communicate with other rescuers on the scene. So it's probably a good idea to have an edge attendant if you're not able to see the litter, and maybe come up with a set of hand signals, signs like that, because you'll see how it is pretty loud. So here we go. And that's the fastest speed on speed 1 here. And this has more mechanical advantage there, but it does move slower, but it's still pretty much, I think it's probably faster than hand cranking has ever done, I think. So, and there's another speed like Frank was talking about, speed 2 underneath, but I guess people could play around with that, but this seems to be pretty efficient here. So that's it. So to lower on this device, you wouldn't use the crank or the drill. You would have your setup here while everyone's being organized with the litter, and when they're ready to lower, the edge attendant is ready, everybody's ready, and then you would release this, maybe take a couple wraps off, and you would say lowering, and you'd be lowering. And then when they want to stop lowering, the edge attendant would let you know, and you would tie it off. Get back down there, go back around again into the slot, and pull it into this groove here. And that's tight. I mean, the weight on that, it's not going anywhere, but just be safe. If you want to tie it off just while they're doing whatever they're doing down there, you can just tie a knot, carabiner it, and attach it to the receiver hitch right over here, and that would be a nice safety knot.